can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet. Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Well, how are we doing out there all across this great republic of ours and around the world? It's that time for the Conservative Syndicate once again. Coming to you live coast to coast and around the world. Where's prime time, sometime, all the time, somewhere. And we're glad to have you with us tonight. I am your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we're going to talk with Joe just a moment here about his little debate watch party that he went to last night. We'll get some details on that. I want to give a little disclaimer tonight. You may already, by this point in time, be suffering from post-debate syndrome. If that's the case, just hang in there. You know, take a deep breath, maybe get a glass of water or a shot of tequila, whatever it is you do out there to kind of unwind and spend the next couple hours with us talking about this debate, because we do what other shows don't do. We go below the PC, the scars of political correctness, and we'll get to the marrow of the matter here, and we're going to do it like the way we always do it, through education, information, and engagement with you, our listening audience. So we're going to talk about the debate tonight. We are also going to have Patricia Dixon, who writes for the American Thinker, with us the second hour. And she is a black conservative Christian evangelical type of writer. And she's going to be talking to us about the black exodus, the exodus of the black community from the Democrat Party. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it, especially on the left. But there are signs out there that there are concerns about where the black community is going this election, whether it be changing over to Trump or not voting at all. And in some cases, even voting for people like Gary Johnson. You know, the black movement, the Bernie Sanders movement was peddled a lot, you know, was run a lot and was orchestrated a lot by Black Lives Matter. See, these kind of things are not being to the forefront. But another thing Sanders did in the debate was he exposed Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party, because when you listen, I mean, we're going to go over the debate. Some of the things that Hillary Clinton said, she did not hold these positions before Bernie Sanders, took, what was it, I don't know, like, what was it, 14, 15, 16 of the states out there in the primary, and he got quite a few votes. And so a lot of her positions shifted, and it is now evident that the Democrat Party is actually the Democrat Socialist Party, and we'll explain that to you. And we'll give you our own take on everything from Donald Trump to Lester Holt to just the generalities that were mentioned during the debate, because there really was no debate in terms of substance. This was kind of like, you know, maybe the first half kind of thing, and I think both sides did what they could do. But anyway, having said that, let me get my partner in crime on here. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm doing just powering through, John. Just powering through. Hey, I was looking at something. I just find this a little interesting. It's kind of just typical of our how everything in our government just kind of you would think that's kind of weird. And I was looking at the FBI's, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI's website, actually the FBI records, the vault page. Of course, I was looking up Hillary Rodham Clinton stuff, and I was just kind of taken aback. In fact, to the point where I took a screenshot of it. You go into the site, and it pops up a disclaimer at the beginning. This is just weird. this disclaimer. Let me just read this to you. This is just weird. The FBI's FOIA, Freedom of Information Act library contains many files of public interest and historical value. In compliance with the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, the thing that Hillary Clinton doesn't like, that particular thing. Mm-hmm. In compliance with the National Archives and Records Administration requirements, some of these records are no longer in the physical possession of the FBI, eliminating the FBI's capability to re-review and or reprocess this material. Please note that the information found in these files may no longer reflect the current beliefs, positions, opinions, or policies currently held by the FBI.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of, they're basically saying
beliefs.
Hey, what you read here may not be true. Is that what they're saying?
I don't know. I thought there wasn't beliefs in law.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe what it is, let's call that the redaction disclosure. Okay, we may have redacted, we may have removed everything that's actually relevant to anything that you're actually looking for.
It's just weird. I was just like, beliefs, positions, opinions, or policies currently held by the FBI. Is everything that damn politicized now in this government of ours that we have to have a disclaimer that says, the FBI does not have a belief that Lee Harvey Oswald was a criminal or
yeah, okay,
or anything else that they have in their records. I mean, for crying out loud, are you kidding me? Or we don't believe that Martin Luther King should have been jailed and under surveillance by the Justice Department in the 60s.
I get it. So if it's part of an attempt to maybe rewrite history or to eliminate real history so that the current narrative can replace it, they should just put up something, like they do on some of these shows. The proceeding is not necessarily the opinions of this station or its management, that kind of stuff.
You might not diagnose, treat, or cure any kind of disease either. But the last line is just the typical lawyer speak. Some material contained in the site may contain actions. This must be for the snowflakes. Precious little snowflakes. Some material contained in this site may contain actions, words, or images of a graphic nature that may be offensive and or emotionally disturbing. The material may not be suitable for all ages. Please view it with discretion.
Oh, that just reminds me here. I had to go down to the VA today. Had an ultrasound on my liver for just to have it checked out. And I was listening. There's this new show on the Patriot out here, which is Rush Limbaugh's EIB network, and it's called the Armstrong and Getty Show. A couple guys. They're not bad. They're not too bad. We're better than them, but they're not bad. They got somebody to pay their airtime. I guess that's why they're there. But anyway, they were talking about this college campus that is having some big issues here because somebody in the college wanted to throw a party. And they wanted the theme of the party. It was going to be a jungle-themed party, okay? And there's a petition now going around the college campus to ban this college, this jungle-themed party, because part of the decorations had a picture of a gorilla. And they thought it's not like what you would normally think, like, oh, it's racist or whatever. They felt that putting a photograph or a image of a gorilla in the party in terms of the decorations would scare some of the students. Now, we're talking about college students here, okay? Okay, and it was like the image might elicit fear in some of the students who would have to view it. Now, I'm just wondering, if you're an anthropology major at this particular college or whatever, but the idea here that we now have 19 to 25-year-olds on our college campuses who might be frightened by the image of a gorilla painted on a wall. All right. There it is, boys. Okay, maybe you just need to put that little safe space on the other side of the room or something, But that really is how, in line with what you're saying here, this whole idea, everything is so sensitive. Everything is deemed so sensitive. Beware. You might actually be exposed to some reality in the world, and God help us if that should happen.
Please register for your safe space occupancy permit, so you are not denied accessibility to it in case of something offensive that might come. You might come in contact with it and hear something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, you might see something and you might hear something that just traumatize you. You're talking about 18 to 25-year-olds who are supposed to know everything because obviously, when I was 18, 25 years old, I thought I knew everything too.
I think we could sit them all down, John, and make them and force them to watch just a Three Stooges marathon.
Yeah, actually, even worse, we can make them watch a debate.
Well, I know the Three Stooges marathon, and then they'll be like, "You can't do that. That would hurt somebody." You can always get poked in the eye and never get hurt.
Or better yet, we can conduct debate like a Three Stooges movie. That would be great.
Well, that would be better. It'd be better if we could get the Three Stooges to actually do the debate.
Yeah, if you give a bad answer, you get to throw a pie at the other person or something. That would be great. Or a big food fight in the middle from the audience. All the audience out there starts throwing pies and stuff, Anyway.
That'd be the Animal House version of.
Anyway, guys, we got to go to our first break. When we get back, we'll get into our discussion, our analysis here on the debate last night. So stick with us. You'll hear something different, I promise you. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go. A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk. From Real Conservatives, I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And let's start off our comment here, our analysis of last night's debate, with just a quick mention of the polls, at the post-debate polls. I watched about 15 to 20 minutes of the news programs, just kind of surfed through the channel. I went through Fox News, CNN, ABC, CBS, and MSNBC just to see what they were saying, how they were saying. And it was as I expected it to be. Fox News declared Trump the winner, and all the other outlets declared him the loser. Okay, and that was verbatim because they had to. The media has to do this. This debate, this presidential election cycle, everything about this, whether we're talking about the presidential election or the down ballot elections or anything else, it's more about the media than it is about anything else that's going on right now. Will the media be able to sway and salvage a Clinton victory? Because everybody thought at the beginning of the thing, at least on the left, that it was Hillary Clinton's, it was her. She was it. She was going to be it. She's going to be the first woman president since the Democrat Party nominated and got elected the first half-white president. Okay, so Clinton, who's actually the wife of America's real first black president, it just seemed the normal, evolution of things, if I can use a progressive term there.
I just wait for him to go ahead and want to elect a dog or something.
Maybe
some other mammal. I don't know, a whale, a dolphin, something. Yeah.
If
we're going to just keep on making history, we're going to have to go cross species and maybe. Oh, I know. We could get that who scared all them little college kids? One of the gorillas.
Yeah. Well, as I said, Chris Matthews just must have had thrills going up and down his legs on both sides. The way he was playing, Hillary just slam dunked. She just nailed Trump. He was on the defensive all night and everything else. Of course, Sean Hannity was doing the same thing on the other side. Him and Rudy Giuliani, I think, have become, boyfriends or something. They're just patting each other on the back. Just what a great job Trump did and everything. I don't believe either one did a good job. I think each one did okay for, no one really blew it. Let me put it that way in terms of.
I would say that. I would say yes. Actually, if you look at it in a rational sense, Hillary Clinton should have done a lot better.
I think Hillary Clinton won on procedure and demeanor. I'll be honest with you. I think she presented herself as somebody who has been in many debates and her. But,
exactly.
Yeah, but
exactly. She's been in many debates, and I want everybody that's listening to me. I want them to watch this the next time they watch Hillary Clinton. Whenever she goes in front of a crowd, I want them to watch Hillary Clinton point out to that person that she knows in the crowd.
Yeah, all the time. I've noticed that too. It's
full
always
time.
somebody there. Always somebody. Oh, there you. Yeah, brother, thumbs up. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm glad you made it. Oh, I'm so glad to see you here tonight. Oh, it was awesome you're here. Yay for you.
I have a sneaky feeling that's anonymous source that's out there in the crowd.
This sneaky feeling it's her pet rabbit named Oscar.
But the other thing, the one thing that irritated me about just watching Hillary Clinton, that's the problem I have when I deal with liberals, is I have her and Barack Obama, I just have a real problem with just watching them, just looking at them. And that smile on her face, somebody must have just put a broomstick up her butt and said, whatever you do, smile no matter what. I mean, it was like, I was trying to think of, there's these movies, horror movies, scary movies, where they have the ventriloquist doll.
You're talking about a Jane Fonda movie or something, so I'm glad you prefaced that.
Well, I was thinking, some of those, like Chucky, with the ventriloquist dummy with the perfectly engraved smile. Oh, I know what I was thinking of. Jack Nicklaus in Batman. The Joker, that, and I was wondering, being the demented person I am when it comes to politicians, about the only people that can really elicit demented thoughts while I'm watching or listening to them are politicians. And I'm just thinking, every time she was smiling at the camera, I'm like, is she passing gas? I mean, is that what the smile is for? That kind of thing. So
my grandson makes the same thing. He's like 13 months old.
My first thought was, at the end of the debate, was Hillary Clinton scored big just by the fact that she made it through the debate without melting down, without overheating, without dehydrating, without coughing. So whatever they drugged her on, it really worked. I do notice that she spent a lot of time looking down at the podium, which means she was reading notes. And a couple of times I saw her check some things off, so it's kind of like, But back to the polls. Let me get to the polls. Let me get this out of the way here.
Yeah.
So all the news channels all said, Hillary Clinton won. Okay, fine, whatever. But the online polls, the online polls that came out of Slate, Time, Breitbart, and even CNBC all said that Trump won.
Yeah, and big.
So the people were saying that they thought Trump won the debate, and the media talking heads were saying Trump lost the debate. Even Fox News wasn't, outside of Hannity, the rest of them weren't that, enthralled with Donald Trump's performance. And I wasn't that enthralled with it. I thought he was way too passive.
Yes.
And I think he kind of overpsyched himself. I think he spent so much time talking about everything was going to be rigged that when he stepped on the stage, he actually went in thinking that, and I think he just kind of held back and didn't go where he could have gone because he had some golden. She handed him opportunities to just nail her. Or Lester Holt did anyway. She didn't, but Lester Holt did. Actually, her responses, and we got some of these. We're going to go into them more in detail here. Some of the ones that I just stood out to me just big time. I'm like, oh, man, did he miss that? And so that I came to the conclusion that he was not that well prepared. Somebody needs to teach him how to research or at least do enough research to say, hey, when she talks about this, the one thing, what do you keep saying, Joe? Well, you've been doing this for 30 years. He could have pointed out anything that she'd been doing in 30 years that would have just destroyed her argument for what she was putting forth, don't you think?
Well, yeah, when she was talking about, oh, you love Putin, and hey, well, what about that gravy uranium deal you got Putin?
Oh, yeah, it's just stuff like that, Like
Simple.
I said... her like I said, her knockout punch to me was that she made it through the debate without, crashing, falling off the podium or whatever it is. For instance, here's a comment she made. Trump was saying that she didn't have enough stamina. Said she doesn't have the look, she doesn't have enough stamina. He said that towards the end of the debate, or about the middle of it, or something like that. And she said, well, I think Donald just criticized me for preparing for this debate, and yes, I did. And you know what else I prepared for? I prepared for president, and I think that's a good thing. That was her big line for the night. That drew applause when she said that. But I would have simply just countered and said, no, maybe you were just laying around in bed trying to get over your pneumonia or whatever else it is, your thyroid conditions or your arthritis or whatever else it is, you know, that you can't walk up and down stairs or something. I would have come to the health issue. No, you haven't been around here for two reasons, Hillary. One, you've been sicker than a dog for who knows how long. And two, nobody likes to listen to you. You got all your cronies out there running the campaign for you. You got Barack Obama out there. You got Joe Biden out there. You got Tim Kaine out there. You got anybody that will go out and campaign for you that's got some charisma. You got the charisma of a soggy bag of laundry, for crying out loud. That's, you know, I because she was baiting him and he wouldn't go. Well, he jumped into it, but I would have fired back. If you're going to get baited, at least fire back with some substance.
Exactly, and I knew what kind of night it was going to be when Lester Holt started off the evening just with falsehoods. Here, there are two economic realities in America today. There's been a record 6 straight years of job growth, and new census numbers show incomes have increased at a record rate after years of stagnation.
Wow.
Really?
And she countered that herself. She actually countered Lester Holt's, if that was the way the question was worded.
No, I'm reading it word for word.
Yeah. You caught something I kind of missed. I didn't really catch the context of that. But she even countered that. She was the one that was talking about how the wage, you know, when she was presenting her economic plan, the wages are not good, they're not high enough. We need a minimum wage. Women need to get paid more money. So she, in essence, countered that. I'm surprised if I had heard that. I missed that. I got to be honest with you. I missed that.
Gate. I was right at the gate, and I immediately went. I used the internet, people. I just went to investors.com and was just looking at this. Hey, that sounds a lot like Obama's top economist, Jason Furman, who said the longest streak in private sector growth on record. U.S. businesses now add 14 million jobs over 73 straight months. The labor force participation rate rose 63% in March, the same levels as 2013, November 2013. Really?
Wow.
You know, we can go back to, hey, when there was participation, when there's not participation. You know, basically, take that 14.4 million job growth number. The number sounds impressive, but the job growth is stretched almost over 6 full years.
Yeah, well, there it is. I mean, Holt counters his whole argument with the way he closes it out. He talks about census numbers. Okay, first of all, those are bogus numbers.
Well, that's what I was just getting to.
Yeah.
Which time the working age population grew by 15.8 million.
Well, like I said, that's why I thought instead of Trump just kind of getting out there and giving a standard, well, the economy sucks and everything is bad and I'm going to make it great again, he's got to put some numbers behind some of the things that he says.
Well, he's got to put some stuff in it that says, look, this is what's actually going on. Your numbers are fake.
Right. I know he did do that, but it was the only time he really tried to counter it was when they threw accusations at him personally. You were for the war in Iraq before you were against it, and they argued about that. I'm like, irrelevant. You were the guy that started the birther issue. Irrelevant. Okay, irrelevant. Those two questions he should have just blown off and just said, think whatever you want.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I kept on saying. The question might be the question, but the answer doesn't have to be the answer.
Right.
And he doesn't have to answer that. His answer should be, oh, you mean what year was that again? Oh, that was when you were what, Hillary? A senator? You were what, Secretary of State? I'm sorry. I was just a businessman trying to survive in the economy you and your cronies freaking helped create.
Yeah, and Hillary's packed her standard talking point when asked about emails. I admitted I apologize for making a mistake. Shouldn't have done it. If I could have done it over, I wouldn't do it the same way. It should have been the same thing. Okay, yeah. I first of all, the only thing I would have countered said I didn't start the birther movement, but I'm sure glad that we were able to get Barack Obama to show us something that looks like a birth certificate, and that's the end of the subject. That and just let it go at that. He takes his stuff.
Happen.
Yeah, he takes his stuff too damn. He takes it too damn personally.
Yeah, well, Lester Holt wasn't going to let that happen, though, John. That's the other thing. Holt was on. Yeah. So Trump has to understand. It's going to be worse next time because he's going to have what's his name there from CNN, Mr. I got the Sonny. What's his name?
Chris Wallace?
No, CNN, whatever.
Oh, Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. Because these people, he's going to have to fight Hillary Clinton and Anderson Cooper and, Martha Raddatz, too.
Yeah. And Cooper's going to be somebody's going to be feeding him information in his earpiece. They're going to be fact-checking as they go along. That's one thing I saw in this. We got to go to a break here, but I'll just make this quick comment here. That was one of the things Clinton referenced to several times. Fact checkers. The fact checkers, you need to get to work. That's going to be the standard here from here on out. They're going to have people sitting out there feeding into earpieces, probably Hillary Clinton also. When Trump says something, somebody, oh, no, it's really this. Say this, that kind of thing. You watch what happens. We got to go to a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate.
Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland. Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your minimum payments every month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
If you've got joint pain, let me ask you a question. Would you like a high-quality knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Now, just in case your reception isn't great, let me ask you again. Would you like a pain-relieving knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Well, if you have Medicare insurance, you could qualify for these pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And these are high-quality braces. They are very comfortable, and they've helped thousands relieve their pain. Now, I'd like you to imagine going on vacation, playing with your grandkids, just living your life again without pain. The Mobility Hotline is a referral service that connects folks with Medicare coverage and other insurance to accredited companies offering pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And don't you worry about the Medicare paperwork. They'll handle it all for you. And they'll deliver your braces for free. Call the Mobility Hotline now. The call's free. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150.
You'll get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. Quick comment here, as we were making before the break here. The question that Lester Holt, and the wording of it, of course, was, I guess I saw it in, I have it here in the transcripts, and for some reason I missed it. And when Joe brought it to my attention, I immediately located it. He made the statement, record 6 straight years of job growth. Well, when the first point is that, when the economy bottoms out after a market crash, anything that happens after that is in any way towards any type of recovery, well, that would be, job growth.
Well, that would be classified as growth, yes.
But we're not talking about, the first 5 or 6 years of this thing was not creating new jobs in the private sector. Government does not create jobs in the private sector. That's something that everybody has just come to assume. What they do is they put out agendas and policies that either make it easier for businesses to create jobs and expand, because they have more capital to do that because of less regulations, or they downsize because the regulations and taxes and everything take it the other way. It's all about profit in the private sector. It's not about collectivism and utopianism and everything else. It's about making a profit. So the idea that in and of itself is a lie to say that the government creates jobs. What they do is they create an environment in which jobs are either grow or die, that kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's what Trump's point was, is the reason why people are leaving. And whether or not he knew it or not, is the reason why he used the corporate tax laws when he declared bankruptcy or whatever, because of however one. I'd just like to point this out to 6 straight years, right? All right. Well, there were 14.4 million jobs created from February 2010 to March 2016. That's 6 years. Okay, the number of people who dropped out of the labor force, either because they retired or just quit working for work, shot up an astonishing 10 million people.
Yeah.
So, put that in your little pipe and smoke it, Lester.
Yeah, and the idea here that what we talk about here is as we've said before in the show, when you talk about underemployment, when you talk about part-time employment, even in now this administration counts public sector jobs. Yeah, let's get another 16,000 IRS agents out there, and we'll call that job creation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. But the VA will never hire 16,000 more agents to help get people from the VA and keep them from dying waiting for treatment.
Yeah. Let's put it where it does the government the best. In fact, one of the comments that I thought Hillary Clinton made, she made a comment that I really thought if I was Trump I would have kind of seized on it, had to do with the concept of government making jobs, or not every. She said something along the lines of not everything that is good for business is good for government. I'm paraphrasing it, but that was the essence of it. Not everything that's good for business is good for government.
Listen to her answer to this question. That means we need new jobs, good jobs, and with rising incomes. I want us to invest in you, which means I want to tax you. Anytime they say invest, substitute the word tax for invest. I want to invest in you. I want us to invest in your future. That means jobs and infrastructure in advanced manufacturing, innovation, technology, and clean renewable energy, small business, because most jobs come from small business. Blah, 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 blah. I thought we did the infrastructure job thing, and I thought we already did the solar energy thing with Solyndra.
Yeah. That Trump, to his credit, did mention that when she really talked about creating clean energy. And he said, yeah, we tried that, Solyndra. And look at the message that you guys created. In context with her answer there, I want to go just a little bit deeper with what you were saying there, Joe. Her answer here, when she was asked about job growth, and she did this throughout the thing. Again, she's running by proxy. She's running on the reputation of everybody but herself.
Yeah, this is not original stuff.
No, and so what does she started out? She says, the central question in this election is really what kind of country we want to be and what kind of future we'll build together. Today is my granddaughter's second birthday. All right, so listen, remind everybody I'm a grandma, okay? We won't play the gender card, but I'm a grandma, and so I think about this a lot. First, we have to build an economy that works for, now, here it is. Here's my point. First, we have to build an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. That means we need new jobs, good jobs, and rising incomes. Well, that right there counters Lester Holt's claim that everything is getting rosy. Everything is rosy. Okay, yeah. And my thing is, what census is he talking about? What new census? Is there a new census that we don't know about? The last one was in 2010. Okay, so what census is this? A census of Walmart greeters or something? I don't know how that works. But anyway, let me go on because I'm digressing here. She says, I want to see more companies do profit sharing. Yeah. We need to raise minimum wage and finally equal pay for women's work. We need paid family leave. We need earned sick days. And we have to have affordable child care and debt-free college. Now, tell me what platform that comes from.
That sounds a lot like that other guy, that Feel the Burn.
Yeah, that was Bernie Sanders' platform. So, and I bring that up because in the panel the other night that I was on, the question was asked, what's going to happen if Trump loses? Is the Republican Party going to splinter apart? And what's going to happen to the Democrat Party and everything else? And I said the Democrat Party, they're saying, well, there's going to be the moderate Democrats and there's going to be the Bernie Sanders people. I said, no, the Democrat Party has already exposed who they are. They are the Democrat Socialist Party. Hillary Clinton is taking Bernie Sanders' platform because it is a winning platform amongst leftists. And that's what she's banking on. She took this platform because she thinks this was going to draw the black community in, this is going to draw the millennials in, and this is what's going to get them off their couches and out to the polls to make sure she wins. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The numbers aren't there. The attitudes are shifting. And there's a whole lot of things playing in this, so we'll probably get in a little bit more into the show. But the point being is that she basically touted the Democratic Socialist platform. Then remember, and Bernie Sanders, nobody wanted to admit that the Democrat Party was a socialist party now. Nobody wanted to admit that. Wasserman Schultz went out of her way to tell us and convince us that, Bernie's just doing his thing. That's Uncle Bernie. He's out there, trying to make life better for everybody. But, that's not really the way we are. But it really is the way they are. And that's why, and the biggest problem, the biggest fear the Democrats had is that Bernie Sanders left unchecked. If it hadn't been for superdelegates, this would be a completely different debate. This would be Bernie Sanders against Donald Trump. I guarantee it. Bernie Sanders could have won this thing if it wasn't for the superdelegates.
So in other words, what you're really trying to say, if it wasn't for the Democratic Party cheating for Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders would have got the nomination.
Yeah, and we'd be talking now about whether we're going to actually have a fundamental transformation into socialism, or are we going to remain a republic with a capitalistic way of doing things? And that would be the debate right now. That would be the framing of the debate right now. It wouldn't be all this other stuff.
I think still having that debate, we're just got a different person in charge of the Democrat.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we wouldn't be hearing so much about the birther issue and all the other crap that they're trying to play. It would be Bernie Sanders standing up there going, I am a democratic socialist, this is what I believe in, and this is what I think we should do, and this is how I would do it. Donald Trump saying, I'm a populist candidate, this is what I believe in, this is what I think we should do, and why we should do it. And it would be cut and dry. You would have a clear choice. Which way do you want the country to go? Instead of this trying to play both sides of the fence all the time. Trying to sit there and tell, Donald Trump is a friend with corporations while the biggest corporations are giving money to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, like Wells Fargo.
Yeah. So, there it is. Anyway, hey, look, we got to go to a short break. This is our short break. And I know I'm taking up a lot of the airtime. I hope I'm not trying to sequester Joe. I'm just really pumped up because some of the things that I heard last night, I'm really kind of tweaked. I'm really tweaked that Donald Trump didn't take her to task more. And we'll talk about that when we get back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. The ConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
The ConservativeSyndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hagels. I want to make one quick comment here, and then I'm going to let Joe go with what he wants to talk about here. In line with this, I made the mention just before the break here that what we saw or what we heard from Hillary Clinton when she's touting her job creation plan is basically the Bernie Sanders platform. She basically stole it. I'm surprised somebody isn't out there accusing her of being a plagiarist. You know, they accused Melania Trump of stealing Michelle Obama's speech lines. Why isn't somebody out there saying, hey, you just stole everything Bernie Sanders was running on? You know, and we know that was geared towards the millennials. That's my point here. See, Hillary Clinton was out there trying to sew up some votes, some demographics last night, outside of what the media wants us to think is already in her pocket. In the comment that she said here, and so what I believe is the more we can do for the middle class, the more we can invest in you, your education, your skills, your future. Those are not words that are targeting the middle class. Those are words targeting the millennials. Your education, your skills, your future. The better off we will be and the better we'll grow. That's the kind of economy I want. So that generic, I just want everything that's good for you. But those words targeting the millennials, saying, yeah, well, I want to give you free education. That's the draw for the college crowd. That's the draw for the millennials. Let the government pay for your education. And by the way, if you work for the government, we'll make it even better. We'll guarantee you a job. We'll send you to school through our indoctrination centers so you can all become little socialists, and then we'll put you to work for the government. That's what she was saying right there. That's the interpretation. That's the translation. Okay. Any comment there, Joe?
Well, I still just Lester Holt still bugs the crap out of me when I just look at this. It's just, and it's hard to believe that people aren't catching this. It's just ridiculous to me. I mean, I'm just looking at the transcript and I'm just reading this. Here's Lester Holt. Secretary Clinton, after she makes her little speech about the economy, blah, 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 right? How debt-free college and making the wealthy pay their fair share and close the corporate loopholes. Holt goes, Secretary Clinton, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump, same question to you. Now, here, I want you to hear this now. It's about putting more money in the pockets of American workers. You have up to 2 minutes. Is that a question or a statement? I mean, what kind of is that a question?
Yeah, it's more like he's asking Trump to respond to what Clinton said rather than give us your views on it.
Yeah, he's interpreted as putting more money into the pockets of American workers. Really?
Yeah.
Gee, Lester, thank you. Is that a question, Lester? That's my point.
Yeah.
Is that a question? That's not a question. That's a, hey, why don't you stand here and we're going to tow you around by your nose because you're not experienced enough to figure it out on your own, Donald. And you can tell this is his first time doing this kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the quick answer would have been, yeah, okay, if you want to talk about putting money in people's pockets, then maybe we need to talk about how to keep the government out of those same pockets. He could have turned that around. He could have instead, Trump didn't give a bad answer on this. It's just the thing is with Trump, when he talks about stuff like this, somebody that's supposed to be such a business genius and everything else, you would think that he would have, again, that's what bothered me, was he just didn't seem to have enough substance to give examples of what he was talking about. And I wish he would quit telling us that everybody he talks to is his friend. Okay, I got this friend down in Mexico that's building a business. I'm like, we don't care if he's your friend. Everybody's friend. Charlotte, he's talking about the police thing. Oh, down in Charlotte, yeah, I have investments there. I have friends there. We don't care about that, Donald. Okay? You may have all the friends in the world. How many of them would show up to your funeral, for crying out loud? So I get tired of him trying. I got friends. I got friends in Russia. I got friends in China. Who the hell cares?
And Hillary Clinton standing there like she's never been part of the problem is bothersome to me. It's like that's not how we grow the economy. We just have a different view about what's best for growing the economy. How we make investments that will actually produce jobs and rising income. Really, Hillary, where the hell have you been? Our GDP is at 1.1% and has been. We're not going to hit 3% at all in any single month of Barack Obama's 8 years. For the first time in history, and you act like you have been on some other planet in another solar system somewhere, and you just popped your butt back down on Earth in the United States, and you decided you were going to be running for president.
Yeah. I get that. And again, there were some opportunities there to really, like when she talked about, she tried to build on Lester Holt's insinuations or lie that the economy has been recovering and is becoming robust and everything else. And, she started to give this little analogy or this little historical lesson on how, the economy was in the tank when Barack Obama came in office. And, we're building a robust economy, I think is the word she used or something like that. And I just, for the life of me, I kept waiting. As soon as she finishes, Trump should turn right around and say, oh, I know, when she was talking about trumped up, trickle down. That was it. She had this phrase, trumped up, trickle down. And I want to build on this. I call it trumped up trickle down because that's exactly what it would be. That is not how we grow the economy. We just have a different view about what's best for growing the economy, how we make investments that will actually produce jobs and rising incomes. I think we come at it from somewhat different perspectives. I understand that. She made some comment about his loans and everything else. But she says here, the point being here is that what Trump should have said, she's trying to blame Reaganomics for the recession. She all throughout her economic dissertation here, she's telling us the trickle down thing doesn't work. Top down doesn't work. It's got to be middle out, that kind of stuff. And I just waiting for Trump to jump on it, and he just never did. He should have said, hey, by the way, the recession was not caused by trickle-down economics. It was caused by the subprime meltdown that was created by your husband during his administration when he went into cahoots with Jimmy Johnson at Freddie Mac, and they decided they were going to give everybody a home whether you could afford to pay the bill or not. That's what caused the recession. It wasn't Reaganomics. For crying out loud, the stock market went from 1,200 to 9,000 in the 8 years that Ronald Reagan was in office. You can't argue with that fact and that statistic. 70 years of growth, only 1,200 in the Dow Jones. He's in office for 8 years. And what did they crank out? It went up to almost 9,000 when he left office. That is growth. And to turn around and say that was the cause of the problem. No, the cause of the problem was eliminating any restrictions on giving people loans, giving loans to illegals. 5.5 million illegals got homes in this country, got loans to buy homes from banks, all for the purpose of personal gain. Bill Clinton made $100 million from Freddie Mac. And nobody wanted, and I'm like, Donald, when are you going to jump on this? And that's why I'm saying he needed to spend more. Somebody's got to give this guy some ammunition and say, these are the things that you have to lock and load on, not the economy's a mess and Hillary Clinton sucks.
And then get into things like NAFTA, because if you notice, Donald Trump started going into NAFTA and why Mexico's getting away with whatever they're getting away with in NAFTA. And Lester Holt, God bless his heart, wants to jump in. Let me interrupt. No, shut the hell up, Lester.
Yeah.
It's finally getting to the damn point, and you want to interrupt so everybody loses track of what the hell is going on. And Lester succeeds in doing his thing.
Yeah. Well, I get that. I understand that. I didn't pay so much attention to Lester Holt only because and I'll tell you why. Because what I noticed this morning, the first thing I noticed when I got up this morning, turned on the internet, that the 4 of the 5 headlines that I saw on Yahoo was about the performance of Lester Holt. See, it was more about that's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. This is all about the media. It's how is the media performing in making sure that Hillary Clinton gets elected. It's not about the candidates.
Yeah.
So
it's an example of what Donald Trump would do. And I'm just looking at it right now. They go in to talk about, and Trump goes, she talks about solar panels. We invested in a solar company, our country. That was a disaster. They lost plenty of money on that one. Instead of going, yes, it was called Solyndra, and we lost this much money on it.
Right.
He never says that. He understands. He knows it's there. But does he have it there?
Yeah, see, there wasn't enough substance in the answer that would give people that vision or that perception of, Solyndra, we gave them $55 million and the people tanked. That kind of stuff. How about the company that they were trying to start in Nevada that happened to belong to Nancy Pelosi's brother-in-law, who's married to her brother, by the way. And put that together. Take a moment to think about that for a minute. We got to go to a break here. It's time for the Edwards Notebook. When we come back, we'll do our short segment, and then Patricia Dixon from the American Thinker should be with us. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go.
Certain people are so focused on toppling America that they will even try to convince the world that protecting our borders is now bigoted. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, the Islamic bloc at the United Nations has joined forces with the likes of President Obama, Mrs. Clinton, Harry Reid, and all American progressives who have labeled presidential candidate Donald Trump and right-wing politicians in Europe who want to protect the sovereignty of their respective nations as xenophobes and bigots. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation also condemned the media outlets who report on Islamic terrorism. The Islamists blame the reporting on terrorism rather than the terrorism itself for causing civilized people to not to want to be around Muslims. I'm sorry, but the Quran instructs Muslims to kill, enslave, or brutally overtax non-Muslims. And talk about bigots. It's the Muslims who are taught from birth to hate Jews and that black people have no souls and are raisin heads. Let's not forget, it was Muslims who declared war on America and the West in 1979. So yes, America will soon protect our borders, and if progressives and Muslims don't like it, too bad. I'm Ron Edwards.
A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. The Conservative Syndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardosa. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardosa Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosalive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosalive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by CitizensUnited.org.
Hey, all you you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet. Baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, hey, we're back. Hour 2. Coming to you live right now, coast to coast and around the world. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we are presenting our analysis here of the debate that took place last night. And my call on this is that really neither candidate won. It's kind of like a no harm, no foul, really, in terms of one way or the other, how it's going to sway. We'll see how the polls work out over the next couple of days, if they're honest polls. I say that with bated breath because I'm still not putting a whole lot of substance in polls for a number of reasons. I will say this, though. I remember on the panel we were on last night, they had people commenting during the show last night, people sending stuff in, asking questions, making comments. And one of the people listening apparently said something along the lines of the real loser in last night's debate was America. And, everybody got kind of all warm and fuzzy about that. Huh. And, when it came to me and they said, well, what do you think about that, John? I said, I'm going to be a little bit hardcore here. If America lost last night, it's because America chose to lose. It's that we're looking at probably really realistically the two worst candidates we've had in my lifetime running for office. There's things about Trump that we're looking at and hoping that he does. But when you listen to some of the things he said last night, yep, he's actually in agreement with Hillary Clinton on several things that have nothing to do with what conservatism represents. So I'm sitting there going, if America wants to blame anybody, they should be blaming themselves. And I expounded on what we talk on this show about the Gruber theorem. It's the stupidity of the American voters. People vote up and down the ticket. They don't vet. They don't vote. Some of them don't even vote. I use California as an example. We have a state here, 33 million people in California. All right? 16% turned up in 2012. And you wonder why the Democrats run the show?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like no, America. Well, if America lost, we're reaping what we've sown.
And so, what else do you see out there, John? You see people say, "Oh, it's just horrible. I'm sick and tired of all this. This just sucks. This is just horrible. Oh, I can't stand it. I'm a spoiled brat and I can't stand this. So I'm not gonna play at all because I don't like it. It's so ugly and just not wholesome. I can't take this. Oh, I'm just not going to participate."
Well, I think the audience that this particular panel was playing to is obviously biased towards Trump. I mean, I'm just describing all those people that don't want to vote, and every time you hear about them, they're out there bitching and complaining about it sucks. This is so horrible. This is this and this is that. Oh, I hate politics. Oh, these people are just so ugly. Yeah. And what do you do? Do you do anything about it? No, you don't get off your dead ass and vote anybody different in. That's really what's the point. You're right. You're dead on. That's what I was trying to point out to him. Is like, you can't sit here. Don't sit here and tell me that America lost because we have two lousy candidates. America is losing because we allowed two lousy candidates to get this far.
I don't know. Get an internet connection and start your own damn radio show. I don't care, but do something other than bitching and complaining.
Yeah, if you want to start the Lonely Hearts Club radio show, go right ahead and do that.
Let's get Peter Frampton to come in and sing Lonely Hearts Club's band for you.
Yeah. Do your own rendition of "Teach the World to Sing." That kind of stuff.
Yeah, sell products instead.
Yeah, save the polar bears and guard the students, guard those college kids against seeing images of gorillas, so they don't have a traumatic experience that will scar them for life, and they may start to doubt their gender.
Oh, yeah. Every time I saw a baby seal get clubbed, that's what I was thinking. It's obviously it hits a nerve with me when I talk about the American people. Yeah, the American people have been losing, and what have you done about it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a crying shame. Again, it's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
You don't do anything; you do the same thing over and over again, and expect a different outcome. Really now?
Yeah, or don't do anything and expect somebody else to fix the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Just get off your dead ass. I'm tired. The 20/80 rule. 20% of the people doing it, they're lifting for 80% of the other ones. It's like no. Get off of my back already. I'm tired of carrying you.
Yeah. And the best thing I would tell somebody when people ask me about it, I just say, hey, look, you know what? Do not listen to mainstream media newscasts, and I don't care if it's Fox News or anybody else. It's good. It's good to listen to these people to know where they're coming from, but you have to know that each one is twisted in their own way, and you have to keep that in perspective. When I listen to Sean Hannity talk, I don't look at him and say, "Wow, what an outstanding conservative." I look at him and I say, "What an accomplished parrot." When I look at Megyn Kelly and listen to her talk, I don't think, oh, yeah, this woman is just an outstanding representative of the conservative message. I think, no, she's a grandstanding celebrity who just probably wants her own network, for crying out loud. She wants to be the first white Oprah Winfrey, for crying out loud.
And who in 50 years won't have a thing going for her.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, look, we got to take a break here. We should have Patricia Dixon calling in shortly here while we're on the break, and she should be with us by the time we get back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go. A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction.
All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we have with us right now Patricia Dixon, who writes for the American Thinker. I've met Patricia several months ago, I think at a Deborah Pauley, when she opened up her campaign headquarters out here in California, and we got to just discussing some stuff. I think we've had her on the show one other time. She wrote an interesting article that I think fits so well into the narrative that is going on right now on the Democrat side of things. We talked earlier in the show about this difficulty that the Democrats are having retaining votes from the black community and the millennial demographic out there. And it gave you some examples. George Stephanopoulos trying to bait Gary Johnson during the talk shows on Sunday. And last night in the debate, there was a comment there, there was a big deal made about the birther issue. They tried to revive that. And I want to use that to introduce or to bring Patricia on with us tonight. How are you doing tonight, Patricia?
I'm doing great, John. How are you?
Outstanding. And I got to compliment you right off the top here. Your audio is excellent. We sometimes have problems with people calling on cell phones, but I'm so happy that your audio is right where it's supposed to be. So thank you for that.
All right.
Last night during the debate, Lester Holt tried to nail Donald Trump once again on this birther issue. And it's my contention that based on what I'm hearing out there throughout the communities out there, that the black vote isn't going to be such a given deal. Barack Obama last week, I believe it was at the Congressional Black Caucus, telling people that he would take it as a personal insult if the black community didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. And I thought that's kind of an indication of how desperate they are. The millennials are right now, Gary Johnson is holding the largest demographic in terms of the millennials. And even though Hillary Clinton basically, trotted out Bernie Sanders' Democratic Socialist platform last night on the economy, she's not faring well amongst that particular demographic. And I want to, if I can, just make a comment here. I'm going to read you the quote that she said, that Hillary made a comment about when Donald Trump just really, in his own way, tried to blow it off and just say, that was then, this is now kind of thing. And she said, he, meaning Donald Trump, has really started his political activity based on this racist lie that our first black president was not an American citizen. There was absolutely no evidence for it, but he persisted. He persisted year after year because some of his supporters, people that he was trying to bring into his fold, apparently believed it or wanted to believe it. So he has a long record of engaging in racist behavior. Now, the comment here is what I really want to bring up. And the birther lie was a very hurtful one. You know, Barack Obama is a man of great dignity. Cough, cough. I would have started coughing there. And I could tell how much it bothered him and annoyed him that this was being touted and used against him. But I like to remember what Michelle Obama said in her amazing speech at our Democratic National Convention. When they go low, we go high. And Barack Obama went high despite Donald Trump's best efforts to bring him down. My point is this. I believe Hillary Clinton is running a campaign by proxy. She has certain people that have been anointed or appointed to go out and basically speak on her behalf because she's got no charisma, she's got no credibility. So they're trotting out people that have some credibility. Barack Obama is at the top of the list. And I believe this whole birther thing was re-injected into the narrative for the purpose of trying to get people to think more about Barack Obama than Hillary Clinton. Given that, what do you think?
Well, you're absolutely right. First of all, we all know that she was the one that, her campaign was the one that actually birthed the birther movement. And I was sick at my stomach last night. I was at a campaign debate party with Deborah Pauly, and it just made me so angry. But the fact is, yes, they are losing black support, and they're not going to get it back. Okay, this whole ploy last night was to manipulate emotions for black people. Mm-hmm. Okay, Barack Obama, first of all, is a failure. He failed not only America, he failed the black community. But he's on his way out of the door. Okay, so why would you be wasting time last night talking about a birther issue? Well, she thought that would help bring black people. They would enrage black people, inflame hearts, and say, oh, this man was hurt by that, and blah, 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 blah. And so that was the whole purpose of that. And you're absolutely right. But it's going to be useless. I'm telling you from experience, and from what I'm hearing, she's not going to get the black vote like she wants. Nowhere near 90% like Obama got. He got like 94, 95%. She's nowhere near that.
Yeah, I heard her numbers are somewhere down around 60% now.
And it might be lower than that, because one thing that's going on, and this is what I'm hearing, when Donald Trump is the kind of person that's been in the public eye for 40 years. Everybody knows Donald Trump, okay, whether they like him or not. And if he makes a statement about a comment about anything, everyone pays attention. Okay, when he gave them that challenge and asked them, what have you gotten for your vote? What do you have to lose for voting Trump? Everybody heard that. Everybody heard it. What I'm hearing from black people, I'm getting two reactions. Some say, okay, Trump is right, and I'm going to support Trump. Others say, yes, Trump is right. I don't like him. I'm not voting for Trump, and I'm not voting for Hillary either. So what we have here are black people that are not going to vote for Hillary regardless. They're going to stay home. They're either going to vote for Trump or stay home.
That's what I was going to ask you. It's going to either be vote for Trump or stay home. Now, the other aspect of this, I want to, continuing with the demographic, the black community, Hillary Clinton last night in debate trotted out her economic platform, which actually I think she just stole from Bernie Sanders. I think she really exposed the Democrat Party as the Democratic Socialist Party last night when she was touting all the things that she wants, free college and child care and minimum wage and all the other stuff here. And when you think about it, the Bernie Sanders movement was heavily generated through Black Lives Matter. They were a lot of the people out there that were actually campaigning for Bernie Sanders. And so that aspect of it, like I said, the millennials are leaning more towards Gary Johnson. Do you see that aspect of it, the millennials within the black community doing the same thing, either voting for Donald Trump or not voting at all?
Yes. And I am really surprised that there's a lot of young black kids voting for Donald Trump. I mean, they're on fire for Donald Trump, and that's amazing. I think that's amazing, because their parents and their grandparents are still on the Democrat plantation. And these young kids are coming out strong for Trump, and they already know the history of the Democrat Party, and that's amazing. So no, I haven't heard of any. I haven't black youth, millenniums, I guess I should say, voting for Hillary at all, and most of them. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this Johnson man either. Is that his Gary Johnson? Is that his name? I haven't heard too much about him either from the people that I communicate with.
Okay, now you mentioned in your article here that you have several polls that say Trump is getting between 15 and 23% of the black support nationally, and that this is more than any other Republican candidate has received over 50 years. Can you tell me what polls those are?
Okay, so the 15% was the LA Times poll.
Oh, really?
And I can't believe people haven't seen these polls. They publish them all the time.
Yeah, you would think
the Drudge Report.
I'm surprised
the
LA
Drudge Report every day. He publishes all the different polls. So the LA Times has 15%. Rasmussen's has the 23%, and then there was another couple of polls in between had like 16%, 17%. So that's why I just said 15 to 23. That's the highest I've heard so far is the 23%.
I'm surprised that the LA Times would admit that.
Yeah, but they did. That's the thing. They have admitted it.
Yeah, wow.
And that explains, listen, that explains what's going on with Barack Obama. He knows, they know this stuff. That's why Barack Obama did what he did at the Congressional Black Caucus banquet, because that was the week that had come out. That poll had just come out.
I saw that as for the first time, one of the very few times I've seen Barack Obama in desperation mode to kind of. But that's the whole thing I'm getting at here. He comes out there and says, "If you want to protect my legacy," and then he rephrased it. If you want to protect our legacy, it was all about him first. I'll take it as a personal insult if any black person does not vote for Hillary Clinton. And I thought. There is, with Barack Obama, every now and then he reveals what he really believes. And I just thought that was a devastating admittance that he knows that she's not going to carry this vote the way that she had in the past.
Yeah. And several black men went to YouTube after that and went on a rant. And it was awesome. I mean, I've posted 3 or 4 different videos of black men that they were just disgusted with it. They were furious with Obama for saying that, because he has failed the black community. He has failed. And if he were to run again, I remember he was bragging to someone, saying, I could run a 3rd term and win. No, he wouldn't. Black people are finished with him because he turned his back. And they were so proud. You got to realize, in 2008 especially, it was black guys that had never voted. They registered to vote. I mean, it was young, old, just people that had never voted for this man. They trusted this man, and this is how he turned his back on the black community. Even Louis Farrakhan has said it about how he turned his back and failed the black community. So, he feels it. They saw the poll last week. They saw all these different polls of black people supporting Trump, and that's why all this birther stuff is being recycled, and it is just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I remember what was a couple of years ago. I think it was during the 2012 election, and the dress down that Barbara Boxer received by the head of the American Chamber of Commerce. She basically just told these guys, because you're black, you have to vote for Barack Obama. Yeah. And this guy just dressed her down. Who are you to be telling us, that's racist? You just assume that we want Barack Obama because he's black. And in one of the articles you wrote back in 2014, you point this out, that the white Democrat Party, or the white element of the leftist movement, they really do, I think, insult the intelligence of many people in the black community by kind of assuming that they need welfare, and that they need affirmative action, and that they need special treatment. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it's like to be black, but I can tell you it wouldn't make any difference to me what color I am if I've got a government telling me that I can't make it on my own. That would just insult my intelligence, and I think perhaps
it does.
Do you think that maybe that's what's rising up here, that people are just realizing, hey, you know, these people just take us for granted?
Exactly. But see, what's really infuriating about it is they think they own us. This is manifested in the way the anger. I'm the first one on Twitter to get attacked. When they see me, it's because I'm a black woman. That's the only reason. White people, white liberals jump on me first. And then, of course, I shut them down, and then that's the end of it. But they automatically assume, you get back on this plantation. Have you forgotten? That's basically what one lady said to me the other day. Have you forgotten what it was like back in the 60s and this, that, and the other? And I fought for you. And I'm thinking, you don't even know me. And I said, and you know what? She said, my husband, he had bricks thrown in his face trying to fight for your right to vote. I said, if your husband was a Democrat, you are a liar. It was the Republican Party fighting for me to vote.
Right.
The person that threw the brick was the Democrat, you know.
Well, you know, I remember one of the analogies we talked about here on the show here just a couple of weeks ago. I was watching a documentary on CNN. They have a series they call, you know, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and they go in and they do documentaries about what was going on in that particular decade. And they were talking about the introduction of rap. And I'm listening to these rappers talk about back in the 80s about what their big issues were, and their issues then was the same issues that are now. And so I'm wondering, well, if the Democrats are so damn good at doing what they're doing, why are we still hashing over the same issues? And I can only come to the conclusion it's just because it's politically expedient to do so. Yes.
And then ignorance, too, you know, and being manipulated.
Yeah.
They take the wound of racism and they reopen it and they inflame it.
Yeah.
That's what the Democrats do.
Yeah.
So they get them so focused about racism that they won't move. In other words, as soon as every 4 years, is back, they trot out the racism. Even though 4 years has passed, nothing has changed in your neighborhood, but the minute that white Republican starts running for office, look at him, he's a racist. And that's all they focus. They can't even get their focus off of that, even though it's not even true, but they can't get their focus off of it. Yeah. And that's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
So that's why they're still there. They don't know history. Also, they don't know the history of the Democrat Party because they've been lied to and told they switched and all kind of foolishness.
Okay.
But they can't get their focus off of racism, and they keep them on the racism until the election is won, and then back to normal. Yeah. So they go 50 years with the same problem. But see, that's getting ready to change now.
Okay.
That's going to change, and that's what I wanted to really say is the Democrat Party, like I said in my article, will never get 90% of the black vote again, regardless of the turnout of this election, because now blacks are going to say, what have y'all done for me? See, now the question has been, the ball is in black people's court now.
Yeah. I got to interrupt you. I got to interrupt you, Patricia. We got to take a break here. We're over our time here. We got to take a quick break. We have Patricia Dixon from the American Thinker with us. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your minimum payments every month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
If you've got joint pain, let me ask you a question. Would you like a high-quality knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Now, just in case your reception isn't great, let me ask you again. Would you like a pain-relieving knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Well, if you have Medicare insurance, you could qualify for these pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And these are high-quality braces. They are very comfortable, and they've helped thousands relieve their pain. Now, I'd like you to imagine going on vacation, playing with your grandkids, just living your life again without pain. The Mobility Hotline is a referral service that connects folks with Medicare coverage and other insurance to accredited companies offering pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And don't you worry about the Medicare paperwork. They'll handle it all for you. And they'll deliver your braces for free. Call the Mobility Hotline now. The call's free. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150.
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate. We do want to encourage you and ask you and thank you for visiting our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. You can pick up this show, archive, any of our archives, find out anything you want to know about our show. That's at theconservativesyndicate.net. We've got with us Patricia Dixon, who writes for The American Thinker, and we're talking about her article, 2 articles actually that she wrote. One concerning the abuse of the black community by Democrats. You hear from them on election time and kind of ignore you all the other time. And then her more recent article about how I call it the exodus of the black community away from the Democrat stronghold of government dependence. That's really the narrative and the way that everything is dressed down. Patricia, Joe, my co-host here, Joe Hagos, he has a question that he wanted to ask you. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, thanks, Patricia. Hey, just a thing here, and then I want to see just a comment here and see what you think about this. You said that you don't see Democrats getting what percentage of the vote, and you don't think it's going to be how high again?
Well, usually the Democrats always get, for the past 50 years, at least 90% of the black vote. Barack Obama got historical vote support from the black community. He's got 94 and 95% both in 2008 and 2012. I'm saying that since Donald Trump's rise, and first of all, Barack Obama has failed the black community. And everybody knows that, even if they don't want to admit it. Everyone knows that. Every black American knows that. Secondly, we have Donald Trump, who has a bullhorn, and he has thrown down the game. He has put the ball in black America's court. He's saying, look at your school system, look at this, look at that. What do you have to lose? Mm-hmm. Now, you have these two things going on. Barack Obama, now you got to realize this is the first black president who is a Democrat. And it's the first black president, black man, Democrat, turned his back and failed the black community. Why else would the black people think that a white woman, Democrat, would do any better? Because they thought that, of course, my own race, well, he's going to take care of us. And he didn't do it. So would you? I mean, just put yourself in that situation. If you thought the great black hope would help you, and he didn't help you, are you going to, from now on, trust the great white hope in the same party? You're not going to do that. So I'm saying that the ball is in the black people's court. Now, we have a lot of black people, and like I said, I get two reactions. Yes, Trump is right, and I'm going to support Trump. Yes, Trump is right. I still hate him, and I'm not going to vote for him. But I'm not going to vote for Hillary either.
Yeah, so if they had another candidate on the Democratic ticket, they might vote for the Democrat
No,
again?
I don't think they're going to vote for any more Democrats because see, now the question is going to be, what are you going to do for me? Because now their eyes are open, I guess I should say, and they realize that's true. You haven't done anything for me for 50 years. So the Democrats are not going to be able to run to the Congressional Black Caucus. Some of those black representatives have been in office 30 years, some of them. Their districts are ghettos.
Yes.
So they're not going to be able to, walk up on election time when it's time for them to get reelected. They're not going to be able to just get it now because they're going to be saying, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah, I was kind of one of the questions I was going to get to is, so we got these Democrats, these cities are run by these Democrats. And so, and here's another way I looked at it too. I don't think the Republican Party is in such great shape, and especially in a lot of these places. But usually in these cities, you have a Democrat running against another Democrat, so you really don't have another choice there. I mean, you got bad and worse. So, so you go from there. So my question is, do you think maybe instead of dependent on them to make some change that you can maybe really believe in, have some folks start running on the Republican tickets, because I truly believe they're there for the taking, and so you start having people run as Republicans in these cities. Yes, and they'll get it, because if Donald Trump gets in the White House, he's gonna make some changes because he's a proud business. People are results driven. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's gonna make some changes, and the dangerous part about this is, if he gets in the White House and all of a sudden the streets are getting fixed, the roads are getting repaired, the schools, the black school districts are getting new computers, how in the world can these same black politicians, Democrats, mainly Democrat black politicians are in these inner cities that run them, how can they creep up on the black community and ask for a vote? Because they're going to say, okay, you've been my representative for 20 years, and all of a sudden Donald Trump is in the White House and I get my street fixed, I get this pothole fixed now? So you see what I'm saying? Yes, they've been put in a bad situation now. So in order to get the 90% ever again, they're going to have to put out. Wow, or just get thrown out and then replace them. Yeah, I'm saying they're going to have to, in order, you're going to have to show, you got to give black people something now, because now they have awakened. Well, I would think it's not just showing black people, it's just show Americans that you're going to do something.
Yeah.
But see, the most loyal constituency for the Democrat Party, that's why they're trying to hold on to them so
okay.
are black people. White people vote Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. You know, all other races vote, you know, either party. But the majority of blacks, 90%, is one party. So that's the difference.
Sounds like things could be changing, maybe.
Oh, they are changing. They're shifting. They're shifting, and that's why Hillary Clinton stands before the world. And instead of talking about issues, she's talking about stupid stuff like birtherism. Because it was embarrassing. It was a joke. Yeah. I'm embarrassed that the world leaders, because everybody was watching this debate.
Patricia, you said something in the discourse here with Joe that I wanted to ask you about. I want you to expound on and maybe correct me. Maybe I heard you wrong the way that you said it. But you had made the mention that I guess the narrative, I'm going to frame it within the context of calling it a narrative. The narrative has been that the Democrat Party is always promising the black community what they're going to do, and they never do anything, and things actually under Barack Obama has gotten much worse. I thought it was funny they were talking about Donald Trump making some statement about 59% unemployment rate amongst black youth, and they're saying, no, it's only 27%. You know, he lied, it's only 20. I'm like, only 27%? But you said something here about the narrative or the mindset, and I think that would be inherent to the fact that the Democrats have had such a stronghold on the black community, that they expect government to do something for them. It's like, what are you going to give me? What are you going to do for me? And that really is got to be what needs to be corrected. The narrative should be, we will provide the opportunity for you to do whatever it is you choose to do. But we've got to get away from this narrative of what is the government going to do for me. That's what has destroyed the Republican Party, is that they've bought into that narrative. Am I correct, or did I hear you right?
Well, when you keep asking people for your vote, they're going to want something in return. But the answer should be, when someone says, what are you going to do for me, the answer should be, I'm going to create a job for you, like Donald Trump is saying. I'm going to give you a better school system. That's what the answer should be. But yes, the Democrat Party, they talk about the government being the all in all to black people.
I think what he means to say is, I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to give you a choice, and you can choose to do what you need to do with that choice. Right. And there are going to be two good choices, not a bad choice and a worse choice.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we got to go to a quick break here. This is our quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Patricia Dixon, writer for the American Thinker. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
The Conservative Syndicate.net, exposing weapons of mass distraction. All right, hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate. If you don't know it by now, you better wake up. And I am your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. We have Patricia Dixon, a blogger for the American Thinker, with us today. I want to ask you this question, Patricia, because we've seen, as Joe mentioned earlier, such disarray in the Republican Party. It has probably never been this splintered, and we have come to the conclusion that what we have here it's no longer a political system as Democrats versus Republicans, but globalists versus nationalists. And both parties are guilty of that. We have globalists on the Republican side, and we have globalists on the Democrat side. Of course, Hillary Clinton would be the poster child for those on the left. I wanted to ask you, I'm sure by what you're telling me that Trump is the best choice at this point in time. And I don't really want you to expound on that. I would like to ask you, though, what if Trump wins, what do you really expect him to do once he steps in the White House?
Well, first thing, we have to realize, because, it's nationalist versus globalist, okay? I believe that everybody in our Congress, everybody in D.C. is a globalist. So Trump is going to have a fight on his hand because they don't want him there to begin with, because they don't want him to upset that cart, their gravy train.
Right.
But I do expect, because we American citizens, we're going to hold them accountable too. So if they start fighting Trump, we're going to rise up. But I expect him to build that wall, because I believe he'll do that. I expect the wall, at least get started on it. I expect that. I expect him to renegotiate the trade deals. I expect that. Those are the main two things that I am expecting him to do in the first 4 years, and I believe he will. And as far as illegal immigration, I believe he will. Like he said, he wants to deport people, but he's going to do it in a humanely, way. He's not going to just grab them and throw them on a paddy wagon. But I believe, what Trump is going to do is he's going to let the people that's supposed to do their jobs do it. He's going to untie their hands. Because you got to realize Barack Obama tied their hands. That's why they endorsed they endorsed Trump. ICE endorsed him. The Border Patrol endorsed him. So I think Trump is going to free them to do their job, because we already have an immigration policy on the books. We just are not enforcing it. That's what Trump is going to do. It's nothing new. He's just going to enforce the laws that's already on the books and untie the hands of the people who are supposed to be ICE and then the Border Patrol. Let them do their jobs.
Yeah. Well, I would think that the first thing you would have to do is kind of clean house, because the one thing we know now that the Obamas and the Clintons, especially the Clintons, everything they touch, they taint with corruption.
Yeah,
and the State Department, the Justice Department, and even now the FBI, these things have to be purged of all these.
Oh, my God, it's got to be.
I can't even imagine what a job that's going to be. I mean, that just I appreciate your stance on that. I personally just hope that what he does is get us some good Supreme Court justices. He's going to pick 2 or 3 if he gets in.
He's given. You saw his list, didn't you see his list? He has a lot of good ones on the list.
Yeah. So I'm hoping if he just does that, I'd be more than happy, because I think he's going. I think the wall that he's going to build, or the wall he's going to run into, is going to be Congress. I don't think the globalists are going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, that's what the fight's going to be right there, because that's going to be their money, their gravy train, and so that's where the fight's going to be.
But he does have that leverage. He will. I think he could be one of the most effective bully pulpit presidents and being able to get out in front of the American public and say, hey, you guys are screwing me up, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Patricia, we're out of time here. I wanted to give you time to plug your blog and your website, anything that you're doing out there. You got a few minutes here to go for it.
Well, right now, the only thing I'm really active in is veterans, Orange County Republican veterans, Vet Rock. So any veterans out there that's in Orange County, we would like for you to join up. It's called Vet Rocks. We have a Facebook page, and we have, Facebook page. So that's one thing Deborah Pauly and myself and a lot of other veterans are involved in. Pretty much, that's all I'm really doing right now, writing every once in a while and doing interviews and, just trying to get, I can't get past this election. Once November 8th is over, then I can do more stuff. But I haven't been doing too much of anything right now except concentrating on that.
Okay, well, let's clarify a couple things here. First of all, you email me the link to the to the Facebook page, and we'll post it on our website for people to find it. The second thing is she's talking about Orange County, California, not Orange County, Florida, and not Orange County, New York. Okay, so she said there's a lot of Orange counties out there. We're talking about Orange County, California, one of the last conservative strongholds that we actually have in California. So get in touch with her there. We thank you so much, Patricia. I certainly want to have you back. I really like your take on things. I like your honesty and your ability to articulate your thoughts. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. God bless you. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next time we talk to you. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. We are coming up to the end of the show here. I was just as Patricia was talking, I was just taking the time to try to just kind of scan and see what the latest is on the debate. I ran across this article here. I just want to talk about it just for a few moments here before we get off the air here. And I'll let Joe make the closing remarks for the show. There's an article here by Emily Cohn who was written, and she apparently went out to celebrate her anniversary with her husband last night. And went to a Mexican restaurant that she made a reservation at 30 days ago. And she had difficulty getting into the restaurant, and you guess why? Barack Obama was eating dinner there. He had made a reservation 5 minutes before she showed up under a pseudonym. Does that sound familiar? That, like the email pseudonym that he has, right? Shows up at the restaurant, and Secret Service wouldn't let her in the restaurant. And she had to go. She finally talked him into it. Hey, I made this reservation 30 days ago. This is my anniversary, but she had to go through a security check. She said they took everything out of her purse, went through her makeup kit, everything, before she could get in. And I'm thinking, this is what it's like to be an elitist. This is what it's like when you got somebody like Barack Obama out there trying to advance his agenda, and he's got to have a security force that shakes down customers that have made 30-day in advance reservations because he decides he wants Mexican food. There you go. The perfect example of what it's like to be an elitist. Barack Obama eating out with his wife, Michelle Obama. You got any closing comments here, Joe?
I just remember. I just like that. I think that the thing that Patricia was trying to get to is it's an election of choice. There is a choice to be made, and you do have a choice. You can choose to stay home. You can choose to ignore it. You could choose to get mad, go out and burn down your town. You can choose to get upset and run for office yourself. You can choose to go out and vote for your conscience. You can choose to vote to make sure that your children don't have to live under some oppressive rule and leaders from our Supreme Court for the next 50 years. Yeah. So, again, it's about choice.
Yeah, and if you vote for Hillary Clinton, you have no conscience.
Vote for Hillary Clinton. She's going to take away your choices because choices need to be regulated.
The conscionable, is that how you say that? The conscionable choice would be Donald Trump. Not because he's the greatest guy in the world, but because he's not Hillary Clinton. And I know that may sound cliche, but hey, that's what we got right now. The American people, you guys are the ones that did this. I didn't vote for I voted for Ted Cruz, for crying out loud.
See, that's getting us.
Okay. And even I have some doubts even about that now in retrospect. But anyway, we're gonna shut the show down now. We're getting ready to shut the show down now. I'm sitting here stalling for about 30 seconds.
I mean, it is about choice. So if you just think about it, these people, when you have you're in the inner city, in our inner cities, and it's absolutely true. I mean, they've been run by Democrats for the last 50 years, sometimes even longer. And as Patricia was saying, I mean, you got people in the Black Congressional Congress. I mean, there's people been up there for 60 years, for crying out loud. It's like, hello, it's time to make a choice and get rid of these people. You keep expecting something to change and you keep doing the same thing again. It's not going to happen. No. So you do have a choice. This would be the year to make that choice.
Yep. Yeah. I know Donald Trump said something last night in the debate about these cities being held in some cases by 100 years by Democrats. And I got, what it really immediately flashed into my mind was the statement Lyndon Johnson made back when he signed the Civil Rights Act. We'll get these guys to vote for us for the next 200 years. Well, maybe that isn't the case anymore. Maybe it's just the last 100 years. Anyways, they haven't even had the right to vote for the last 100 years, but you get my drift, guys. Okay? We got to go. We'll be back tomorrow right here, same time, same station, 3 o'clock out here on the left coast, 6 o'clock on the east coast. We love you. Thank you for supporting us. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hayko, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.